Com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight I want to go over a creature that's gets tied up with another one frequently. We've already talked about unicorns, and this is kind of a more recent cousin, you could say. And that would be the Pegasus. I'm old schooling it, but we'll just go along with that today. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy these videos, drop a like, comment, let me know what you think as we're going along here. This particular one, which is Myth and Tarot, it's an ongoing series. We go over a creature from mythology, and then I do a basic tarot reading just to kind of see if that creature was alive in the physical realm today, what would its energy be? So this is, like I said, kind of a fun stream, but it's interesting to introduce people to the new creatures. So, a Pegasus. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this because I haven't done it with notes like this for a while. A flying winged horse. The name basically means springing from a well, and in later translations they use the term lightning. There is a reason for that, and we'll go over that soon. Usually the Pegasus in Greek myth specifically, where it started, is seen as a divine stallion of purest white. So pure that it glows from within is one of the descriptions, and I absolutely love that description. The way that they would show the Pegasus, it changes how you think. Like today we think winged horse, big deal. But back then, this was something very, very, very powerful. And it was an immortal horse, and there was only one. Now, modern myths and legends, stories, I guess you could say, they have different colors of Pegasus. There are multiples of them. Multiple different type novels that I've read have like entire herds of these things. But the original story, there was only the one, and it was referenced as the Pegasus. The Greek myth portrays the Pegasus as being fathered by Poseidon, god of water, also god of horses. I didn't realize this. The mother was the Gorgon Medusa herself. Now, Medusa originally, and we'll go over this in a later, her pride got her struck down, and I can't remember the exact story. Like I said, we'll go over that later. But during her more attractive years, apparently Poseidon liked what he said. Where was I at here? Sorry. The original myth has off Medusa's head. Her head comes off, Pegasus pops out, as well as the brother. It's a weird story, and the Greeks like to cut people. The pure white winged stallion sprung from... So there's that. Beauty from destruction, maybe? The Greeks liked their weird tragedies, I will say that. After to bring lightning and thunder wherever Zeus happened to end up. There's more to the story, but that's one of the aspects of it, is that Pegasus. But there's like the stories. I went through a whole pile of them, so I tried to compile my notes in order. I do apologize, but that was one of the first ones. Is needed extra lightning and thunder, he could just send Pegasus. Many myths are linked to Hippocrene, which is a magical fountain on Mount Helicon. Mount Helicon was where the Fates and Muses and or actually strike his hoof, springs would erupt. Inspire dreams. Inspire create. Go off to that one because it's like, well, Pegasus was captured. Belleropo. Pegasus was a free Roman horse. Not surprising. He's the son of some help from able to get the halter Pegasus. Not willing master, actually, like we'll call him Beller. Beller actually was on a mission when he was at some party, furious because she told to basically it's that type of story. This was well before her. That should have never been possible. It's a conglomeration of on there. Yeah, science. The body of a lion, the tail of a... It was impossible to kill. Beller was able to act possible death sentence. The king to the orders of the god did this, and I did that. destroy, first there's some different stories here. So we'll go up to Olympus, Mount Olympus, taking him down from, this gets a little bit weird, blasted him off of the back of Pegasus, and his back was broke. There's a couple of other stories about how he was looking up to Olympus, didn't think he'd actually get it, looked back over his shoulder and fell off the back of Pegasus. There's a couple, like I said, whatever happened, he's no longer on Pegasus, but Pegasus actually made it to Olympus. Pegasus was given to Io. Pegasus was also at the beck and call of which is interesting considering they had some really powerful, Pegasus for some reason really captivated, wouldn't capture your attention, but it is shown in a lot of images throughout Greek history. It made it into some of the Roman myths. There's multiple references to Pegasus today. Since Pegasus was seen as a divine, the image didn't stop as the emblem of the cool, considering Pegasus was a flying, which kind of makes sense. To me, it's like you're throwing yourself out of a plane. What's in my head is the plane's just fine. Why am I throwing myself out of it? And up through today, even, I found some military references in the 2020 through. Nike's used it. Multiple airlines. It's a local airlines. It's also the emblem of a the emblem of the flying horse Pegasus was also used on an Ecuador weather satellite back in the 90s, or something in the 90s. The reference to it was weird. All they would say was it was something that was Russian hit it, so who knows what that was. So a little bit of mystical information here. Even though Pegasus moves through the air, this I thought was interesting. The elemental association through the Greeks and a lot of the pagan practices, actually the third element. So water is the primary, earth is the secondary, air is like almost not there. Both water deities. Herd of horses running at mid. Water association is always stuck with horses through the Greek myths. And like I said earlier, Poseidon was the god of the seas, but I really hope we're not losing videos. Anyway, alert here. Let me. Well, it still says I'm live, so hopefully that's. I don't know. The internet around the valley, especially when you have to work online. Brother was named, so there's that. Other than he was a great warrior. He birthed a gem. It was that Hercules had to steal as part of his journeys. So, who knows? The image of the Pegasus had multiples starting in about mid-60s. Familiar. The concept of a winged horse. Who knows what that means? We'll find a hilltop, as it's some of the more recent pop culture reference. The 1940 old, 1970s Goofy. The Barbie, one or two of the Barbie movies, the animated one that stop motion animation. They show a little bit older. One, I believe, possibly season 2. He doesn't fly, he's just we won't talk about how many years ago this was. What carries the upgraded Olympians. Pegasus plays one of my absolute favorite fan series, and it's called a little bit more slow if you've ever read any of her, but it does talk about using, well, couple of the heroes in Might and Magic where Pegasus shows up. Figure that find about Pegasus, kind of a selling point for certain things. Some computer programs that I was finding under hiccups, information out there about Pegasus. If being a little bit if you start googling Pegasus, and with that this one, and again, these are for anyway. This reading would be. If you are liking this stream, hit the subscribe button. Happen to forget to tell everyone that too. And one more. Okie dokie. So, use reverb in the moment. It is the king of. So, where they're at right now, they're kind of in a very begins. So, you've got this inner glory type thing, but they're cycling through their passion and creativity, powerful for them going. There's a little bit of laxity. There's a little bit of insecurity, is like the physical stuff, not within it at the moment. Is the one of edit some of these pictures. Just coming forward, something starting a new cycle, and it's a new more focus towards, just could be classified as their shadow as well, is the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Air, there's some fears that they're feeling that are swirling up, but there's a little bit of fear that's watchable, like he doesn't want to come forward. Awesome thing going on, their subconscious mind or not. Recent past is the Three of, it could have been their loss of connection with humanity over time. It has been a little bit sad, people using him as, you know, not quite what Pegasus was wanting. The Four of Swords is coming forward as something he doesn't want to. They're talking with the green, it's immortality. One of the gods, Zeus, or they're coming forward that Pegasus is just not sure if he wants to do that or not. Chalices, someone's challenges, doesn't want to face his is the Eight of Chalices, kind of lost in a little bit of emotional confusion here. There is a little bit of environment that it's in is not to the Four of Swords in the fantasy world and not deal with his problems. Who doesn't want to do it? And is feeling stress causing him emotional strain. Truths is going to free him up from, oh, okay, so we really have to edit here. He needs to find his balance. He needs that it's a struggle. Find that new home. So you need to find some balance, is what's being said. I will subscribe